So anyway, when Darrin was talking about going into courts, or Robert talked about going into courts, first off, I could not believe how bad the court system was. And I started to say, first I thought, I've got to get myself healed, because after all of this stuff, you're damaged. And I said, after I get healed, I don't know how long that's going to be, but after I get healed, my intent is to change the laws. And then there was a representative, Matthew Krause. He said something about heterosexual divorce has destroyed more people than same-sex marriage. And I said, amen. Would you please sponsor a bill to repeal no-fault divorce? And I'm not sure if he was doing it at the time or not, but the last 2 sessions he has, I'm hoping he's going to do it again. But the issue of no-fault divorce, once again, divorce on demand for any reason, for no reason, often for a needless reason. And what results? Family destruction. And then, Robert knows too, because he's been through the system, and other people who've gone through the system, you have to keep paying and paying and paying. Divorce is a lawsuit in many instances that never ends. Divorce is a lawsuit that you can go back and somebody can get a modification, and you can have to keep paying every single time. I've known of people that have had their college funds for his children drained completely, because he now had to pay his ex-wife's attorneys. And that's why, the Texas Family Code must have been written by attorneys for attorneys. If you can't pay, well, your spouse can pay. Really, so now I'm paying to be sued by you? And it keeps going on and on. This is the family courts, I believe, are the most tyrannical, most abusive, one of the most evil things that we have in the state of Texas. These divorce attorneys that operate divorce mills. I cannot believe that we've talked about abortion. Abortion is a big deal. But here's what happened back in Bolshevik Russia. First, it was the issue of no-fault divorce. And in 1926, there was an article in the Atlantic magazine, July 1926, called The Russian Effort to Abolish Marriage. And one peasant lady is saying, abortion now covers our village like shame. What happened? You destroyed the family, you pulled the father out of the family. There's a higher incidence of children getting pregnant, and because of the lack of a support system, there is a much higher rate of abortion. We are rightly upset with abortion, but when it comes to divorce, we're kind of like, oh, it's no big deal, they couldn't make it up. This is a social issue, it is a social evil. And when we start talking about these things as the church, we need to stand up and tell people in our congregation, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, we don't stand with you in this divorce. Yeah. If you are a Sunday school teacher, if you're an elder, if you're a deacon, and if you think it's okay to get divorced, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, please step down. We will counsel you, we will love you, but you must step down.
That's right.
And I will tell you too, if there's a divorce attorney out there that's profiting off of this instead of trying to defend somebody, I'd say the same thing to them. I'm sorry, we can't have you as an elder. You are in an industry that is destroying families. This is the work of Satan. Satan came to steal and to kill and to destroy. The Son of Man came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. He taught us how what? To forgive each other, how to live in it with one another.
That's right.
So what I would say is this, as far as going into these courts, when I started to do this, because as I was talking about the issue of no-fault divorce, people are looking at me like you're nuts, right? Because nobody's talking about no-fault divorce. And I started to do these videos online on my YouTube channel, and I'm like, okay, how stupid is this? I'm in my backyard talking about no-fault divorce to a camera that's about $250. And I'm like, who's going to pay attention to this, right? But then you see the ramifications of divorce. And did I feel stupid? I absolutely felt stupid. And I think I had people that told me, that's really stupid what you're doing. So they were affirming what I was feeling, but I just kept on going on. And I think over the course of time, your skin gets hardened, because there are times you say, do you want to quit or not? And we had a situation a couple of years ago that the Attorney General spoke at a breakfast in Rockwall. And I had talked about a lot of these okay, I'll be done just a quick minute here then. Thank you. I don't want to take too long, but anyway, I appreciate it, yeah. But anyway, it turns out that, I got to address the Attorney General and I was shaking. I'm like, dear God, do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? And I was shaking, and I got the courage to ask my one question. And it had a lot of ramifications. But the thing was that, the stepping out when you're facing fears it sometimes helps you to step out again. And then as far as going into courts, I've seen these things that have taken place. I've gone into Robert's, because I didn't even know Robert. Somebody said, hey, you might want to see Robert. And I went up there, and as he said, you know, a couple of things have happened, and you know, so we have to go in, because I believe that as people of righteousness, we need to talk about these evils that are being taken place in our society. We need to expose them. We need to oppose them. And we need to tell our legislators, get this right. And we need to hold our judges accountable. And what we're fighting for is for our families. We're fighting for the future of America. One of the reasons that some of these things are happening on our country right now is because the foundations of the family have been destroyed. We need to reestablish those. Anyway, I'm going to stop right here. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And I appreciate you.
You do a lot more than Dan talked today.